Okay.
TGIF, Dawn.
It's Friday. Lori, woo! You are fast. She's our first one. She jumped on. There we go. Friday. It's going to be a great day. Kelly has an amazing demo today.
It's a fun little project. It's a great gift project, but I thought we should show this. So we're memory bound. We're right in the middle of Iowa, and we're so happy that you're joining us this morning.
Yes. And that's Kelly.
Yep, I'm Kelly, and we got Dawn here, and we got several people out on the floor already today.
Very fun.
Not
Hi,
really
Renee.
on the
Hi,
floor.
Tina. Hi, Michelle
Yeah, hi,
and Peggy.
everybody.
It's Friday.
We
Hi,
love
Donna.
Friday.
Yes. Look at. Did we show these yesterday? Did you guys show the wood?
No, this is all here to show right now.
Oh, yay. Oh, my gosh. I didn't know this order came in yesterday. The Impression Obsession. Yay.
So we got those two little
Good deal.
Christmassy stamps, which would be really cute stamped on a little coaster for a gift or the front of a card.
It was Maggie that requested this one.
Oh, well, good. Maybe she's got
Snowflakes or
something in
Kisses.
mind
I
then.
think she does have a coaster in mind for this one. And then she asked for this one. All roads, at Christmas, all roads lead to home. Isn't that cute? How fun to color those. We should show her little canvas panel that she created with this one. I'm so glad I live in a world with Octobers. So we'll show you what she made with this one, and then that's what she plans to do with these stamps because they're just so cute. Snowflakes or Kisses from Heaven. I love it. I love it. And look what we have here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We saw this. It's so funny because Kelly, Maggie, and I were all talking, and we all saw this same sample online, and we loved it. And it was where they took sheet music and used it as their background paper for their Christmas cards. Yes, so we actually have vintage hymnals that we have taken the pages. And hi, Steve from Iowa City. I know Steve's watching. Anyway, you get 10 sheets for $1, and
wow,
you can cut.
Cheap, Dawn.
I know, and you can cut them apart and make your own Christmas cards. So they would be good for Christmas cards. They would be good for sympathy cards. They would be good for mixed media projects. So if you want sheet music,
Or your scrapbooks. You can even use them in your scrapbooks.
Absolutely. They're under Christmas, and they are $1. Now, they're not all Christmas songs, but that's where I put them because of the project that we created using Christmas cards. But anyway, there you go.
Here's one of those bold tidying stamps that you used, Dawn. It's not the same one that you used, but it would work really nicely with the music paper.
Very fun.
And this is $21.99 from Tim Holtz. It's Bold Tidings 4.
I like the all is calm, all is bright.
That's really nice for the music, I think.
Yes, very fun. Okay, well, let's go back here, Kelly. Let's jump back. Kelly went and got this sample that Maggie created. And actually, I think I made this one.
Did you? I don't know.
This is one I made, but I think Maggie gave me the inspiration. And that was made using that stamp. So you could easily use this and create a little canvas panel to give as a gift.
And it's made just on a little coaster, a little 50-cent coaster. So it's very easy to do.
So make those, and you can have those sitting at all of your friends' spots at the table if you have them over for like a luncheon or something. And we do get requests for cardinal stuff a lot. So this has been a really popular die for us. It's all these little cardinals, and $7.49, and I don't know, is there like 10 cardinals? 10 different cardinals, so really fun, and
there's a lot.
Would be good for cards and scrapbooking and projects. And okay,
now I want to show something else, Dawn. We had shown these trees that Leanne made, and I don't know if anybody noticed the wood bases. They're like a log slice. So we now have log slices that you can purchase. They're online under miscellaneous product, and they come in a couple different sizes. So these are the smaller ones are just $1, and they would work perfect for Leanne's trees. And then the larger ones are $2.49 because they're just a little bit bigger. We've got some birch and some, I don't know what log that is. If we have any great
tell us by the bark.
Forestry people, they might know. It's really kind of unique. And of course, birch is always loved. And these are about 3 inches, and these range from maybe, I don't know, 2 to 2 3/4 or 2 1/2. And I wanted to mention this tree in particular because we're going to be demoing how to make this accordion tree that Leanne made. and I think that's going to be really fun.
When are you going to demo that? Do you know?
I was thinking next week if we have an opening. So we'll see if we have an opening, because we do have a pattern for Leanne's trees. It's a 2-page pattern to get the triangles.
To get the different sizes.
And then for the logs, I had a question asked just this morning before we started about drilling a little hole, because if you're going to use them for this purpose, you'll need a little hole to put your dowel in. And they're not pre-drilled because dowels are different sizes, so we were didn't want to drill them too big or too small. So that's something you can do on your own. And it's pretty simple. They work, Leanne did hers herself.
But I think these are so cute.
Well, and it's interesting because this is the same paper collection, and just how different it looks depending on how you finish them off.
If you've got the batting with the sewing.
More spraying and more inking and things like that.
Yeah,
so
very
we're going
fun.
to hopefully have an open day next week for that, and if not, we'll do it the week after.
All right.
So, Leanne, thank you for making those trees. They're really nice.
They're adorable.
And then, Dawn, I always like to do review, kind of like in homeschool, because I'd like to show what Katie had yesterday. In case you missed yesterday, she did this adorable little coaster book.
It is so cute.
And she used the Make It Merry. I don't have a collection pack back here, but she used the Make It Merry collection from Simple Stories. So you'll see a lot of these really fun colors for Christmas. I guess I'm not going to put that back in there, Dawn. Yes, I am. And if you watch yesterday's video, she walked us through it and showed us how she made each page. And it's kind of hard to handle in the air, Dawn, with one hand. But she showed...
Here, go back, because I really like how she added the glossy accents. Isn't that what she added?
It could be, but
Or
this is actually Morning Dew from Nouveau.
Oh, Morning
Either
Dew.
one would work.
Yes, okay.
And then she got little tags throughout the book.
And go back one second.
Okay.
Because she added...
Oh,
she
the Posca
did
pen.
the Posca pen, which is a white
You'll
pen.
see that.
And look at, she just added those white dots. And
It's everywhere. Like here's on the presents.
But it just made them
It does.
so...
It definitely does.
Yeah, I just love that she did that.
And here she's added them. You don't even know she's added them, but she's added them to the holly in the little clip. And she's got little tags throughout. She's got puffy stickers. And if you want to make this, she does have a guide with pictures and dimensions. And this was made with a couple coasters, like we just showed with the fall project. She said this reminds her of her grandma's living room.
Isn't that funny?
And
So
then
cute.
she's got a little pocket here. And just lots of really, and there's more of that Posca pen, Dawn, and on the cardinal also.
Good job, Katie.
So it's really cute. You can always count on a cute project when Katie's involved.
Absolutely. It's adorable.
So this was from the Simple Stories Make It Merry, and it's made so you can set it up like this, Dawn, if you want to, or you can lay it flat. And it makes a great Christmas decoration, especially after you add all your memories. And Katie has done the same thing with Spooky Nights, the Halloween collection. And you know what, Dawn? Spooky Nights is all 20% off, like all of our fall and Halloween. So if you wanted to make one for Halloween, she does have a cutting guide and a picture guide to make this one also. Look at that, where this little pocket there with the haunted house.
Cute.
She does a really nice job of layering and kind of making, what do you call that, little scenery or cluster type things. She does a very nice job with that. So Katie, thank you so much.
And I just want to, okay, first of all, who asked the question? Pam asked, is the fall plaid paper pack back in stock? It did ship. I believe it shipped on Tuesday, so we're crossing our fingers that it is back in stock today. So if you're on our list for that, we will call you just as soon as it arrives. And the other thing I wanted to point out is that I just thought was so clever is throughout this little book, she has all these circles, and she took this paper, and that's the Make It Merry, or Merry, Merry, Merry from the Make It Merry
That's
line.
a lot of Marys, Dawn.
It is a lot of Marys. And she punched out those circles and then used them as like little...
She used them throughout. And then what she also did was, like on here, she put two back to back.
Yes, I love that.
So you could do that. And she used one for a tab here, this 25, and it's back to back.
It's just, that was just very clever,
So one
I
sheet
thought.
gets you a lot. And the same with this sheet, Dawn, the tags. She used this in a lot of different ways too. And these tags are nice. If you just need tags for your presents, you get 15 on this one sheet of paper for $1.
And I have been looking for a lot of like Christmas treat bag ideas. And I tell you what, tags and these little circles, I would punch
Well, there you
out
go,
these
Dawn. You're
and
all
put them on a
set.
tag like that. And what a fun treat topper idea. So way to go, Katie. I just love it.
Very good. Now, we do want to make sure, and we got to remind everybody at the end that our fall and Halloween is all 20% off through Sunday. So get out there, come into the store, get your fall and Halloween. We got to make room because we got more stuff coming. You guys, Valentine's. We're ordering Valentine's stuff. I'm sorry to say it, but we are. We haven't even really had Halloween yet, Dawn.
No, we haven't.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you what we're showing today. Show
Okay,
you what we're
'cause
showing.
you guys, I absolutely love this
They're
idea.
so fun. They're so fun.
They are.
A long ago, in a world called Memory Bound, we were sent these little gift pads. They're like a little treat, little gift, and it's actually a notepad, which is great
Kelly,
for
we
making
could talk
lists.
Southern now because they came from
They
a
come
store
from the
down the south.
We could.
We could talk Southern. I've been wanting to talk Southern for quite some time.
So somebody made us these, and these have been sitting on Dawn's desk for I don't want to say how long because it's too embarrassing.
Probably 3 years, do you think?
Maybe.
At least.
So notice how the pens coordinate with the tablet. So, you could open this up, make your grocery list, your Christmas list, whatever, a fun list, things you want to do, reminders. And Dawn, I need reminders more today than I ever have. So we have done something about this. We now have packaged the tablet and the pen and the measurements, the dimensions, and the instructions. It's $2.99. It's online under kits, and I'm going to show you how to make them today. So it's got, you just need a little adhesive, and then pick out your own paper. I'm sure you have stuff in your stash.
And what a fun gift to give to any friend. I mean, I would...
Even a teacher.
Or
Wouldn't
a
that be
teacher.
good for a teacher?
Yes. Katie, you
or
need
if you
this.
have a group maybe and you want to have a little something for your group. So Gloria made this one for us, Dawn, and it's got this color study paper from Vicki Boutin, and she's got Wink of Stella and some Nouveau drops on it. I don't know if you can see them in the camera.
Yes, I can.
So one side is the black stripe that she used, and then the other side is the floral, which she used to accent the front.
Cool.
And I thought she did a nice job because she even added a little patch of flower border there.
It's very
And
cute.
that was probably from the barcode
I was going to
strip.
say, there it is on the
So
back
that's,
side of the barcode
called
strip.
Floral Study from Vicki Boutin. If you love this one and you like that, it only takes one sheet of paper. It does not take very much at all. So Gloria made us that one, and then I made this one with the Make It Merry. Speaking of Make It Merry that Katie just used. So this side has got your holly on one side, and it's got your gingham on the other. So this one, I didn't put an embellishment on the front like these. I sure could, but I kind of just liked it the way it was. And then I open up and you got the gingham.
So cute.
And it's all covered on the back. Your pen barrels match the tablet.
And Kelly's going to show us how to do all of that today.
We're going to make 2 of them because sometimes I think it's good to do it once and then do it again. So
It
it's
is,
a little
absolutely.
repetitive. And an important, you need strong adhesive, and I'm using score tape today. And I think I've got the 1/2 inch. I do have the 1/2 inch, but you can use any width because you can always add another strip if you need it. So, all right, let's do it, Dawn. We're going to make 2. And the first one we're going to use the Sunflower Market, which is that really pretty new collection from Cartabella. And here's some of the papers I just grabbed that I thought would be kind of fun to use. And I am using this one with the flower, and it's got the gingham, I guess that's what you call it. And I also picked out one of the solids, because you'll see on this one we use the black matte cardstock for a matte, and I'm going to use one of these solids that's actually dyed to match my paper. So I'm going to use that. And then I also thought this was really pretty. I'm not using this, but I wanted to show it because on the back, when you decorate the front, these might be nice things to put on the front. You know, like let's eat. Maybe you're doing kind of a grocery list thing, which I'm going to do first here. Things you can cut out. I even think that 2 cups of love is kind of neat.
That is really cute.
So you can use that also. All right, so we'll do this one first, and I'm also using the ephemera. Or let me see, am I using the ephemera or the frames and tags? I'm using the frames and tags today, but I'm going to flip it so people can see. There's the frames and tags, and there's the ephemera, and there would be, I had them both opened on. You could use either one if you wanted for embellishments. I opened them both, dumped them all out, and picked out what I'm going to use. So I did that ahead of time so we don't bore you with me sitting here going, oh, do I want this? Do I want that? Do I want this? Because it's hard to decide. So in your kit, you're going to get a tablet like this, and it's all ready to go for you. You don't have to do anything to it but decorate.
So Kellie's taken her tablets and she's cut them in half on our big trimmer that we have here. So in the kit, as Kellie mentioned, you get the pad already cut, the pen, and the instructions. So what a cute little gift.
This would even be a nice gift, wouldn't it, Dawn, to give somebody that likes to do creative things?
Yes.
Or you can make it up and give it to somebody. And we've made one up for Christmas because I think that's a really good theme. So I'm not doing Christmas for our sample.
And if you wanted to give them as a Halloween gift to all your trick-or-treaters, you better get busy.
Definitely get busy. Definitely. Now, if you used a different tablet, and you could do this at home and use a different tablet, then you would use your own measurements. For the tablets that we have in our kits, I've already pre-cut things, and the measurements you need are right on here. So it tells you what you need for your base that's going to wrap around your tablet, and what you need for your decorative front. I've got the mat, which I've used that color dyed paper that matches my paper. And then I have my pattern paper. And then you need a little piece that's going to wrap around your part here so it doesn't show. You don't want to see that icky part there from the office supply company. And then I have a few little embellishments that I'm going to use that like I said, I got from the frames and tags. So I've got all my stuff, and I got a piece of ribbon, Dawn, because I want to put a little piece of ribbon on this one.
Okie dokie.
So we're going to start out by taking our base piece, and we're going to score it. And we're going to score it at 2 5/8 inches. And I'm using my scoring board. And I'm sorry, it's going to be a little upside down because 2 5/8 is just kind of not a tricky number, but a number I have to pay attention to. So I'm going to score 2 5/8 all the way down because I'm making the spine. And then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do 2 5/8 again. And I'm using the EK Success scoring board because I really like it. And I don't know if you want it, if you have one of these at home, here's a little tip. I have taken black paint and rubbed it in here so I can see the numbers better. You know, Dawn, the older I get, the harder it is to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you compare it to this side, and I did it on the fly during a video. If I had done it maybe at home or been more careful, I could have wiped more of the extra paint off.
You probably still could, don't you think?
Probably could. Okay, so I've got my pieces scored, and I'm going to fold it along the score lines. And I'm going to kind of fold it just to get my line here, and then I'll use my bone folder just to kind of, because this is really thick paper. This is that Cartabella paper, so it's nice and thick. And this is going to create the spine, and in with our spine, and if you are making this with a different pad, you're going to want to make sure you leave, if you want to put the pen in it, you've got to leave a little gap right there for your pen.
That is a good tip.
That, my first one, forgot.
We didn't leave that little...
No, we didn't, but we are now. We know what we're doing. So here's my, pretty easy, here's my outside piece. Now another tip, if you have a directional paper, pay attention. I haven't made that mistake, but just now I almost did. So this tablet's going to fit right in here, but before we do that, we want to cover this up. So I have this piece that's 2.5 by 2 1/4, and basically I'm not going to score it. I'm just going to kind of fold it around, and then you can kind of press on it and get your fold lines, and then I'm just going to fold it. I don't know. You probably could score it if you wanted to, but for me,
but why?
It's hard to get the exact measurements and stuff. So I've got that. And also when you're making this, you're going to want to use some good adhesive like score tape. You could probably use a liquid adhesive or a liquid adhesive.
Or
liquid or liquid, whatever you want. Or you can use score tape. Because you don't want it to fall apart on somebody when they're, maybe making their lists or at the grocery store.
Twice.
Yeah, checking it twice, or in my case, maybe checking it 3 times.
Sharon says they finally have rain in California. That is
oh my
wonderful.
Gosh, yay.
Yeah,
well, we're happy to hear that.
I hope it. Now, I was watching the Weather Channel today, and they are predicting more than normal precipitation in the southwest. So maybe you guys will get some more rain this fall and winter.
I have not heard you talk about the Weather Channel for quite some time.
Yes. Well, I was watching it on my iPad while I was eating breakfast. Anything else you want to know? Is that TMI?
No, I think everybody was wondering what you were doing this morning when you were eating breakfast, and maybe what you had for breakfast. Or
yeah, well, let's see. What did I have? Oh, bagel. Bagel.
So when I lined this up, I didn't mention this, but I started at the front, and I lined it up just to the bottom of that piece, the office supply looking piece, because you want to cover up that blue part. That's not very pretty. And then I'm wrapping it around to the back, and then giving it some pressure. And look, it looks better already. Doesn't that look better already?
The size of the first piece of paper was 5.5 by 8 1/4. That was the piece that she scored. But now, if you're using if you're using the kit, all of that information is in there. But if you are using your own pads at home, then you're going to have to recalculate your dimensions.
So now we're ready to put our pad in. And when you glue this in, you're going to have a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom extra, but you want your pad pretty close to the edge. And that way, when it folds closed, you're going to have that gap that you need for your pen. And I'm going to use score tape again. And I'm really happy I got this little bit thicker score taped on.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some of you have heard the tip about using your score tape and putting a little bit of liquid glue on it. And I've heard that, but I haven't really done it. So I thought we would do that today. And I am being generous because, like I said, you don't want this to fall apart, especially if it's a gift for somebody. That would be kind of embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Well, chances are that if somebody were to give me this, I would be putting it in my purse. So it's going to get jostled around quite a bit.
Yes, very true.
So a little bit of extra tape probably wouldn't hurt. But I would love to have something like this in my purse for lists and stuff, especially for the holidays coming up, because I'm constantly making lists.
Okay, so I got a bunch of score tape on there. I'm going to add some liquid glue just to, for ha-has or whatever. And I might not, because I think I might have picked one up that was broken.
It does look like it.
So we're not going to do no liquid glue today. I think
that one has seen better days.
It doesn't even have the tip on it.
I know, I see
It's
that.
missing.
I see that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know how that happens, but it does. So you could try adding a little bit of liquid glue with your score tape, because once you stick score tape, you stick score tape. And I want to line this up nicely. And now I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do it. And I want everyone to be able to see it. So I am going to, this might not be perfect, but I'm going to try my best. Oops. Oh, I think we're good.
Good job, Kellie.
I think we got her.
Good job.
Look how it closes, and it's just so cute. It's just cute already, isn't it?
It
You
is
open
cute.
it up, and it's got the flowers on. And I put the flowers going the right direction.
Yes, good job.
So we're pretty lucky. So now the inside's all ready to go, and we can decorate the outside. And I picked out the paper already that I'm going to use. Do I want to use this?
Kellie, I just had a flash.
What was
Wouldn't
that?
this be fun for a little Bible journal?
Oh,
and
yes.
you could have some, give this to your Bible study group and have your favorite Bible verses here. And
It's
then
funny that you said that, Dawn, because I had a flash.
like
It wasn't
this.
your flash.
Was it your flash?
It was a
another
different flash, but I thought, why couldn't you have, I'm just grab this, but you could put a decoration inside.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be on the front. So
Yes.
I don't know
like
that I
that
want
idea.
to, like I said, it takes me a while to make decisions, but I think I'm going to pull something out of here and decorate the inside.
I think that's a great idea.
But for right now, we're going to do the cover, and I did not bring a tape runner at all, so I guess I'm using score tape for this. I would probably use a tape runner for this. I meant to go back and get one, and then I thought, I'll use the liquid adhesive.
Try
but
as we may to be prepared. Sometimes you just can't
This'll
think
be
of
fine.
everything. That's true.
Okay, so we're going to use this little piece of score tape here. We've got, 5 employees out there. I wonder if one of them is watching and could bring us a tape runner. Okay, so I've picked out my green. I'm going to mat this onto my green, just like so.
Martha Stewart's watching us, Kellie.
Oh, Martha is?
Martha, it
Oh,
says
right.
Martha.
Oh, my gosh.
Her name is Martha Stewart. I think she spells it a little differently, but she says it's her first time watching and she loves this.
Martha, welcome. That is great.
It is. And Melissa says add a pocket on the inside. I love that. Yes. That is a great idea.
Okay, now if you really wanted to figure it out, Dawn, you could probably cut this wider and figure out how to fold it for a pocket. Now I'm not going to do that, but somebody could.
Yes, genius. I love that idea.
Okay, well let's get this on.
And let's see. Jan says, what about laminating? Well, you probably couldn't laminate the whole thing because can you score it after you laminate? It might be too thick.
Somebody, if you try it, let us know. Yeah, we would love to know about it.
Absolutely.
Now here again, it gets a little tricky because you want to make sure if you have a directional item that you are putting it going the right direction. Now I do love that you open it and you have flowers on the inside.
That's very cute. It makes
All right,
me
so
smile.
I'm going to put this on the front. All right, and then I picked out some things from the frames and tags already from Sunflower Market, and I picked out this little tag. I put a little bit of ink on the edge.
Martha, you're hooked now.
Martha, yay, we're glad you're here. I took antique linen and I just put a little bit on the edge, and I did that, Dawn, because this is such a white background. I just wanted it to show more, so that's what I did.
An antique linen. Okay, and like Beth said, you could put your coupons in the pocket. That's a great idea because I cut the coupons out, but then I never have them when I go to the grocery store.
Dawn, I'm going to go get a tape runner.
All right, Kelly's going to go get a tape runner, so we're going to take a commercial break here. Let's see, what should I talk about? Hey, for those of you who got signed on late, these are the new stamps that we showed this morning that just came in. Snowflakes are kisses from heaven. And then we have at Christmas, all roads lead to home. And we got these. Maggie suggested we get these because we had this one. I'm so glad I live in a world with Octobers. And we made this little coaster panel that you could set on an easel.
This needs to go in the
and we're going to do the same thing with these new stamps.
Diane.
And there's the cardinal dies that we got into that everybody loves.
Perfect.
Okay, all right. Look at all the adhesive Kelly just got. Everybody run, Kelly.
And we run. I don't know if they could hear me yell or not, but I'm like, can somebody get us an adhesive? Okay, we've got one.
We're back.
All right, so I picked out these pieces. This said welcome home, but I'm thinking of this as kind of a grocery list, so I took this little piece of let's eat out of the ephemera. So I'm going to glue those together, and I'm going to use, I've got a liquid glue that works, Dawn. What do you think about that?
Yay.
I really loved those daisies, this flower, and there's a paper with that, and that was my favorite pattern, I think. So look at goodbye and hello, let's eat.
And you ladies that are all commenting, everybody is so sweet.
Yeah, we're
very
fortunate.
Very nice people watching.
This little, look at my, I've been stamping today.
Jeez.
All right, so this little piece I like too, so I'm just going to add that on right here.
Cute.
And this is all going to go on the front. So,
but you're going to add some ribbon.
But wait, everybody.
Wait, there's more.
Okay, now this is a tag, and a lot of times people will just tie the ribbon, through here like this, and tie it, and then that's really cute too. I just wanted to do something a little different today, so I don't know that we do this a whole lot. So I'm folding it, plus this will be flatter. So I'm folding it kind of into a V, and then I'm taking our tiny attacher.
I was looking for that.
We both looked each direction. This is $18.99, and Dawn, I could not really live without it. I use
you and Diane both.
Even at home, if I'm stapling something at my desk, I just grab that.
Well, because it's fun. It's a fun handle, ergonomically.
It is. It looks like maybe your grandpa's stapler.
Exactly.
Now, I'm hoping there's a staple in here, Dawn. This is memory bounds. It's not mine from home. So you just put it in there, and then you just shoot a little staple through it, and. All right, I know you enjoyed that a lot. Let me do that one more time. What happened was that little hole popped out, and it was there earlier. So if you're using a tag, I'd recommend that you tape that little hole so it stays. And there's my little ribbon, and I even have scissors that cut ribbon.
Mary, you're right. She just ordered 10 kits. She said they'd be great for Christmas gifts. You're absolutely right.
Oh, Chris is here. Hi, Chris.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning. Now my staple's kind of goobered, but I don't think anybody's going to notice that. Should I pop that up or should we leave it flat?
I would probably leave it flat because if you pop it up, it's going to get
people's purses or
yeah,
whatever.
it's
Okay,
gonna get-
well let's glue it on.
My God!
Thanks for the empty dispenser.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! That
Here,
just
let's try this one.
That's just a typical memory bound.
Just another day at Memory Bound.
It's another day. Absolutely.
And again, I am using a lot of adhesive because I want this to stick really well. Okay, I might have to give this to my mom because she always is writing on envelopes and things, and it'd be nice if she had a little notepad to use. Okay, so I'm going to stick that on there. And how do you like that, everybody?
That is an adorable.
Oh, here comes some more adhesive. Thank you, Diana.
Diane and Katie to the
No,
rescue
the glue,
again.
This is working. This is working. This is good.
Where's the red one? The red one did.
They're all. She just threw it away. That's no adhesive in it.
Okay. All right. It's okay. We're good. We got it.
Oh.
And we made a really cute project. So we've got this really cute little tablet. And like
We're
you
just
said,
gonna stand and watch.
I would
just
pull out.
Just ooh and ah.
I would take this package that I only used a couple out of, and I would put something in here too. I think that's really neat. But you know what? Just hang on, everybody. We're making another one.
Oh.
So don't
But are you
go,
going to do the?
Don't go away.
Are you going to do the pen?
Oh, the pen. Yeah, we got to do the pen. Okay. And where do you think the piece is that I pre-cut for the pen?
Heidi, you can order the kit if you go to memorybound.com and then you click on the shopping tab. And are they under kits, Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay, so go to Memorybound, go to shopping, go to kits, and you'll find them under kits.
Some underneath too. All right. Well, thanks for reminding me about the pen because
Well, I think
we
our
will-
viewers are
they
the ones
probably
that are
wanna-
buying the kit want to
they
know
want
how
to
to
know.
put the
Okay.
pen in.
Now this
Or
is
the-
extremely thick paper. So what I would do is take the pen and kind of get it trained a little bit to curve. And I mean, the pen barrel is pretty thin. So what I did, I just had this stick and I rolled it around the stick. And I've done the pen once, Dawn. I'm sure people, as they do them, they're going to come up with more tricks. Oh, and I forgot to take this off. So I can take this little piece off.
All right, so you take the bottom of the pen off.
And then you roll up your paper on something skinny. And then you can put it right inside there. And after you do a couple of these, you'll have, you'll be able to kind of figure out little tips and tricks.
So in the kit comes the pen, and Kelly is coordinating it with the paper, just like we did on these here, or these were sent to us. What a wonderful gift. Okay,
So
back
Dawn,
to
then
Kelly.
I kind of put it in. Yeah, show that one that matches that black and white.
Oh,
that's
here.
That's really fun. Or the one Gloria made too.
Okay, here's the pen that matches that. And then, so she's showing us how to do the stick the paper in the pen.
Yes, I am. And then, did you show the kits there, how they come with the pen and you get your dimensions?
Okay, is the pen black or blue, Kelly?
It's black.
Black. The pen is black. Okay.
All right, so
All right,
kind of,
we're back.
I'm just kind of working it to get it in there.
Are they a special type of pen? No, they are not any.
They're not, yeah, they've got a little cap on them, which is nice. They're not, like,
I think you would want, if you're not going to buy the kit, you're going to want a pen that has a clear barrel so you can make the coordinating.
Right. And then we just put our ink back in and our tip.
Mary
Sure,
Mary
tip
said
on.
she may need to move to Ankeny. She's been
Oh,
driving.
we would love that.
Yes.
So there's my matching pen. Now,
Cute.
you
Wow.
have to decide what direction you want your flower to go.
Oh, you could also wrap the pen with washi tape. Good idea, Mary.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I love that idea. Now, that was a little harder because this paper is that heavy Cartabella paper. But it worked. I got it in there. And isn't that just cute?
It's adorable.
I think that's so cute. And Dawn, we're going to do one more because sometimes I think it helps to see something twice.
Yes, it does.
And we're going to do it a little different.
I can see these being sold at church bazaars. I think if I
That's a
bet
good
people
idea
would
for, like, a
pay
fundraiser.
$7-8.
$100.
Oh, $100. Yeah, you can make some money for the church. But I really do think people would, absolutely would buy these for gifts for their friends for the holidays. Stocking stuffers.
Secret
Yes.
Santa. I don't know if people do that anymore. Secret Santa. A lot of different things.
Okay.
So
All right.
the second one we're going to make, we're using the homegrown from Simple Stories. And let's see, do I have the paper here that I use? I'm using this paper right here, which might surprise you because that's quite a pattern on the other side, the border, which this would be so cute on scrapbook layouts or the fronts of cards because you just cut it. So I'm using this. And then I also brought over a couple other patterns that I thought, what if you had a quilter friend?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't this be neat?
Yes.
And maybe if you could put a flower on the front or maybe a quilt design or... And then I also thought this was neat because of the red diagonal gingham. And then you've got your jars. So
Maybe for somebody who likes to can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Linda, put a magnet on the back to hang on the fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Fabulous
Why
idea.
didn't we think of
Why
that?
didn't we think of that?
I don't know, Dawn. I don't know.
I love
We
it.
didn't. Okay.
I love it.
So to save a little bit of time, I've pre-cut all my pieces and I've already scored this because we showed you how to do that previously. And this is ready to put on my tablet. And again, look at this one, Dawn. When you open it up, you're going to have the barn. I planned that.
And
So
some cows behind.
If you want to do that,
So I'd probably
watch
put
how you
some-
cut your paper because you're gonna want to watch that. And I've made it so the house is going to be on the front of my little tablet.
Anna Player, the kit is found under kits. If you go to shopping and then kits, you'll find
I
that
almost forgot to do the
there.
first part. All right, so we're going to do this again. And this piece was 2.5 by 2 1/4. So you're going to line it up. You'll figure it out because if you do this, you're going to go, oh gosh, it's not wide enough. And then you just turn it and like, oh yeah, that's it. And then how I did this, I just put it where I wanted it. And then I just folded it over to kind of score that top. And that's how I measured that because, you know, it's easier to do that than to try to score it. I thought, try to figure out on your scoreboard where to score it. So I'm just giving those lines a little bit more of a crease. And then I guess I could have put the score tape on here, couldn't I? So
a
I'm gonna
very
add
cute
score
project.
tape.
You know, even a little kid would love this. You know, even
Oh yes, they would.
even a little boy, if you got the right paper, you know, maybe something with skateboards or
Especially if they like to sketch or draw
trucks or
something.
a little farm. If they like farm, this would be so cute. They could
Now I also thought you could do one for your college. You know, if you've got-
do it in the school
Or
papers.
if somebody's like a Packers fan or a Vikings fan, you could do it with those things too.
Cute.
And
Cute
I thought
idea.
about making one like that, and
I
then
think
I
the
saw this collection and
Possibilities are endless.
I thought it was cute. Okay,
Again,
so
while Kelly's
I've got
doing
all
that.
my adhesive on here, so I'm going to line this up on the front. And I'm not doing it upside down, everybody. Sorry, but I got to be careful with this. Got to do it right. And then I'm going to put my score tape on the back because I'm using score tape. Hey, let's try that score tape plus liquid this time, Dawn.
Well, now that we have one that
Now that
works,
we've had some.
this is what we're making. If you're just tuning in, Kelly is showing us how to make these adorable, adorable little notebooks and coordinating pens. They are a kit, and the kits sell for $2.99, and they do have the instructions in them too. Oh, Donna, or a Bears fan. Absolutely, go Bears. They're not doing very well, but go Bears.
Are the Bears not doing well, Dawn? I did not know that. I know your husband Dennis is
Well,
a big Bears
I
fan.
figured you would know because didn't they just play the Packers here? Or didn't they just play the Packers? I don't know.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
Yes,
and they lost. But anyway, I put it in your child's bag to write on during church. Gotta love it.
Oh yeah.
Love
yeah.
that.
Put it
with-
in my bag to write on. I shouldn't say that.
But all the animals, that would be, I just think that would
This
be
is the
adorable.
homegrown collection from Simple Stories, and it's cute. And Dawn did her ABC State Fair book with this collection.
Yes. If anybody wants to see that again, holler. But that was a fun project to make with this paper line.
Okay, I added some liquid glue to the tape, and we'll see if that gives us, the idea is it gives you a little play, because you know once you glue this down, you glue this down with score tape. You can always use undo if you need to take it off. This is so awkward, everybody. I have to tell you, it's very awkward to do this. Okay, but I'm going to get it. All right, we're glued in. We are glued.
Yay!
And I've already picked out stuff for the front. And you know, a lot of times people don't think about matting in white, but I really thought white looked good on this.
Katie's a good one for matting in white.
And I'm going to use a tape. This time I'm using a tape runner.
Wipe them out.
Janine, they're on.
There's.
Do you have more someplace else?
Okay, so I've got my front here, and I'm going to go ahead and attach that. This is a nice tape runner. Whoever got me this tape runner, thank you. It's working really well. I do like that scrapbook adhesives. All right, so we're going to put this on. Now this is not the same size. I made this shorter.
The price of the kit is $2.99.
Where's the one we just made? Well, you can see here, this piece, if you follow the directions, you're going to have a long piece on the front. And I just made a shorter piece because I like to do stuff different. And then I am using the puffy stickers from Homegrown. And you'll notice, look at this cow, Dawn. He matches this cow right here. And I'm going to stick it right over the top.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. Sorry. I wasn't. Yeah. Okay.
I've got a puffy sticker, and I'm going to stick it right here on this cow.
Oh, cute.
Because he matches.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, but I noticed, does that surprise you, Dawn? I noticed that there was a puffy sticker for corn. And there is a puffy sticker for a pig, which we could use. So let's just do it. So we're going to put the pig on there. We got the corn.
Okay, this is definitely a church folder because of all the puffy. The kids would love that.
I'm going to put a sunshine right here.
Keep them busy. Oh, I love that.
And gosh, we've got lots of other things.
This is one of those sensory notepads, Kelly.
I don't know where to put the corn. I don't know where to put the corn. I'm taking it off.
Well, you could put it coming out of the pig's mouth.
Coming out of the pig's what, Dawn?
Pig's mouth.
How about if we put it right there?
There you go. He's eating some corn.
So anyhow, I thought the puffy stickers, I don't know if you can see them on there. Maybe we need a couple little chicks here by the house.
The cardinal die is impression obsession. So if Diane is watching, we'll make sure that she checks to see that it's online.
Okay, anyhow, you can decorate with your puffy stickers. And this one, I think, turned out really cute.
It's adorable, Kelly. Good job. Good job.
And that's the Homegrown. Simple Stories Homegrown, and we use Sunflower Market from Cartabella were the two collections that we used.
Wonderful. What a cute project. Oh my gosh. Everybody is going to be making these for their friends for the holidays, for any group that you are involved in, neighbors. I think they would love that. Wonder if those small calendars would fit in the inside left side of the booklet.
Chris, would you mind grabbing a mini calendar?
You know what?
We'll have her check.
You could make these a bigger size. You know, really, you could make these.
You want.
Really, yeah, you could make these whatever size you want.
Thank you.
And here we go.
They're a little bit wide. They're a little bit too wide, but you could make one of these just for your calendar, Dawn.
Right.
And you could fold up over the top.
So you could even use a full-size pad. You just have to adjust your paper. And you know what? I think we have made those. So you would need to use like 2 pieces of paper. You would, if this was your full-size pad, you could start it here, put 1 piece of paper, and then go around, and then put your little calendar down here. It would be full-size. So, yippee, we're in Texas. Gosh, Donna, that's a long way for you. Will the pen fit inside the flap? Yes, it fits like that.
It's not going to fit inside. There's not enough room to
It-
still close.
it hangs-
You'd have to make a different size.
It hangs on the outside, but you could adjust your measurements if you wanted to put it on the inside.
Sure you could. All right. Well, Dawn, have we got any other questions?
Very, very cute. Everyone is absolutely loving them. Turn the calendar crosswise. Yes, you could. You
Oh,
could turn the
sure.
calendar that way, for sure,
Maybe.
if you wanted it to fit in there.
Yeah, and it would still close. It still
Yeah.
closes just fine.
Absolutely. And then you always know what day it is. Love that. Good
right.
job,
Well, thank you,
Kelly.
everybody.
Everyone is loving this.
Have a great weekend.
It's-
I hope you can stop in if you're in the area. And remember, our fall and Halloween is 20% off through Sunday. And it will ring up. It's all automatic if you're shopping online or in the store. And so it's a good time to get deals and help us make some space for, all this stuff, right,
For
Dawn?
all the new stuff. Okay, and that music paper, let's go back and just do a quick review of what we showed earlier today. The music sheets are under music. If you go to shopping, go to theme, and go to Christmas, you'll find these. You get 10. These are vintage hymnal sheets. Absolutely from a church hymnal that they were actually throwing them away, and one of our customers pulled them out of the garbage. But you get 10 sheets for $1. And then we made like these Christmas cards with them, and they were used. We used the bold tidings from Tim Holtz stamps to stamp on them, and then I just used a little bit of evergreen in the corners. But you can stamp them with any bold message that you want. And let's
When
see.
you're done showing that, I've
Okay.
got something else.
All right,
I
I
forgot to show everybody.
think that answered everybody's questions. Okay, Kelly has one more
Okay,
thing.
I'm sorry, everybody. I had another idea for these tablets, and so I got myself a set of stamps from the Simple Stories Homegrown, and they're $14.99, and they're called Homegrown. And I thought it would be fun to take the stamps and just stamp some of the papers in the tablet, which you could do this if you're making a Christmas or whatever theme you're making. And so I just put some of them on a block, and I just thought every now and then I would just stamp.
Oh my gosh.
There's a cow.
Yes.
There's another cow. I had stamped some cows before we got started. There's a chicken.
What a cute idea.
And I'm using a block, but I've got, to save time, I've got a stamp on one side and a stamp on the opposite side.
Great tip.
And then I've got my little pig, because he's so cute. And I'm just flip a few pages, and I stamp my pig again. And then there's this little tiny chick. Let me stamp him so you can see him.
Kelly, this is what I would call a happy surprise. You know, you're
Oh,
flipping
yeah.
you're flipping through there and see your pages stamped with those. So cute.
Isn't that just fun?
It's cute.
So anyway, that's another idea if you want to take a stamp set, and you can just add to your, you can just add little special things throughout the.
And Heidi, the kits are, I believe, sold out, and we are going to be making more. Yes, we will be making more. So check
We'll
back
probably
with
have
us.
more on Tuesday.
Okay, Kelly says we'll have more by Tuesday, so we'll announce that on our morning video. So thank you, everybody. Good job, Kelly.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Great weekend.